phone's blown up, I wonder why I got out of bed at all. The morning tweets cloud up my inbox, and I can't read them all. Even if I could, it would all be great. So Tony Khan, please give me a call and remind me that it's not so bad. It's not so bad.
Wow.
That's right. It is a cloudy day for some wrestlers in the world here, but we move on. I mean, that's the wrestling world. There are no breaks. There are no pauses. If it's Christmas Day, you got to wrestle sometimes, but that's nothing new. But yes, we are the Shoot Brothers, the wrestling podcast, the only wrestling podcast on the internet where you can hear such great content. Hosted by myself, Mike the Shoot Shepherd, and Cameron, the number one fan, hit him back just to chat, Osborne.
Dear Slim. That's me.
That's him. But no, he didn't drive his car off a bridge with a pregnant woman in the back.
Oh wait, that's you the oh shit. Yeah. That's right. We're talking about that was a fantastic intro, by the way, Mike. Oh my god, give Tony Khan a call. Maybe he's calling you. How many phones do you think Tony Khan has? I picture him like a Dana White style. He has 4 phones, one for Dark, one for Elevation, one for Dynamite. You're right, Mike. We got a big show this week. Not only do we have our normal weekly content, Dynamite will be pushed back to Friday again, I believe, probably for more pay-per-view, sorry, not pay-per-view, wow, for more TNT NBA coverage,
yeah.
But they did have the big show. Well, not the big show, although the big show was there. Of course, we were talking about the former Giant Paul White. Double or Nothing 2021 was on the weekend. But before we even get into any of that weekend action, the latest of hottest breaking news are the sort of things that we cover. We don't even need AC Dirt to kind of find these things out for us because sometimes they just happen without any sleuthing at all. So let's take a quick trip around the ring.
Around the ring, around the ring, around the ring, around the ring, around the ring.
Just this morning, God, what is this, the Releasening Part 4? Maybe? This is the point in the horror movie genre where everything starts to fall apart. 1 and 2, always bangers, except, unless we're talking about Saw, in which case Saw 6 answers all the questions you have from Saw 5, so it makes it a perfect movie. But yes, Mike, we did have another Releasenings just this morning, which I could not believe. Kind of opened Twitter and saw the word Braun, B-A-R-U-N, trending. And that's not a very common name that just kind of, randoms would have. It can only mean one thing. Braun Strowman is in the news. And Braun Strowman is just one of many, what I would say, top-tier names.
Big names.
To be released from the WWE this morning. Mike, you've got the full list in front of you.
Well, yeah. So you got Braun Strowman, Aleister Black, Lana, Murphy, Ruby Riott on her own, no Liv Morgan, and then Santana Garrett from NXT. But, like 5 out of those names have all been featured pretty prominently, or at least somewhat on TV, and especially Braun Strowman. He was Universal Champ. He was in a fucking title match at the last pay-per-view. He was in a big WrestleMania match. Aleister Black was just getting rebuilt on TV the last few weeks. I don't fucking know. Lana, she's there almost every week. Ruby Riott even got a match last week. I just don't get it.
I think my biggest takeaway was this. So yeah, with the exception of the name Santana Garrett, all of these people have had a match at WrestleMania in the last 3 years. That's crazy. Whether it was in battle royals or individual matches or what have you. This is big. The first other releasings I feel were, a lot of people, but a lot of the names that you would think if someone's trying to clear house. But you're clearing house getting rid of Braun Strowman. This is Braun Strowman we're talking about here. Never really been, I think made us pop the most, but the company clearly saw something in him because it's been, 4 years of him getting main events pay-per-view performances, Money in the Bank winner, Hell in a Cell matches, Brock against Lesnar, against Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Universal Champion.
It's did not see it coming. Like we just said, he was just in that triple threat with Bobby and Drew. He was fighting Shane McMahon for months and months with that stupid feud. I mean, the only thing is, there's all these hot rumors going around that there's a sale pending. WWE is up for sale because, I don't know, big bucks apparently on the line, and this is their way of just kind of maximizing the profit of the sale, dumping every big contract they can.
Who would they sell to?
I don't know, NBC, Universal, something like that.
The Peacock?
Disney? Maybe Disney wants fucking stream pay-per-views. I don't know. But,
wow.
I mean, the rumors, there's all rumors, but I mean, it wouldn't just be a full sale, like no more control. I think Vince would still have controlling power and all that. But these are the rumors. And I don't know. I mean, why else would you release these huge names that you've been using on TV?
And not only so, Lana, who's been on television consistently, booked oddly, but consistently since...
She got her own WWE Network special.
She got her own network special. Of course, Braun Strowman being in the promised ideas. Even Murphy having his huge angle in the whole Rey Mysterio thing on SmackDown. But he is a former Raw Tag Team Champion alongside Seth Rollins. He was a Cruiserweight Champion.
Yeah. No, he was... He was never fully utilized, but he was still featured. He was in pay-per-view matches and stuff. And,
Ruby Riott, who...
Yeah, literally last week was on SmackDown. And I was happy. I'm like, yes, she's back.
They've inconsistently used for years now. This is crazy. This is one of the craziest releasenings that I can think of. I mean, since the last one, we have huge, between guys like Aleister Black, who, like, newsflash, was huge on the indies.
And we just did like 4 weeks of retelling his story, making all these vignettes, these animations, all this bullshit. He come back, he starts a feud with Big E. Now Big E's gonna be like, whoops. I don't know.
Whoops, going the other direction now.
Yeah,
this is exactly it. I think this is the first releasing too, where again, no disrespect to Santana Garrett, but all of these five will have a job in 90 days or however that sort of works or whatever. Whether Braun Strowman's thrown up on Impact, whether Murphy is... Aleister Black seems destined for an AEW event. At least one. Aleister Black, Kenny Omega.
Black and Murphy are the two most... I think the Murphy could do a lot in AEW as well.
Yep, I think he also can too. And then, of course, Lana.
Yeah, Lana, maybe. I mean, Miro's there.
Miro's already there, and, Lana could beef up or, kind of bump up that women's division also. What the AEW women's division is missing right now are those sort of people with a little name behind them.
Yeah, she can be... Yeah, exactly. She's got a name. I mean, we all know her in ring. She could be like a Penelope Ford type. She wrestles once in a while, but she's there on the side.
Yeah, sure. Or maybe even better than that, right? I mean, she's shown so much improvement over the last year, right? So who knows what more improvement...
I'd like to see her wrestle too.
Exactly. Those are our releases. Anything else? Anything else you got to say on that?
No, I mean, it sucks for everyone involved. The SmackDown women's division already only had like 6 people, and you just got rid of one of them, so...
I'm curious now if has Liv Morgan, does she even use anything? She doesn't really do anything with the Riot Squad aesthetic in the first place. I think her in-ring uniforms changed completely. I don't know about the music.
Yeah, I think she's mostly her own.
She's mostly moved on. But Ruby Riott, again, a name who people know, and that's important for kind of bringing women's divisions up all over the place. Who knows?
I mean, if AEW really wanted to, I'd just say fuck it and bring them all in. But I'm sure they won't bring.
Yeah, all 5 of these people will end up in Impact or on NWA or on AEW or even New Japan. All five of these people are going to find a home.
Yeah, but it was certainly shocking.
Shocking.
The timing and the names, probably. I mean, we kind of all expected the releasing around WrestleMania after, but this one just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, really came out of nowhere. Well, let's move on. That was our trip around the ring. Hopefully more news. Yeah, between those people and Samoa Joe, I'm waiting for something huge to pop off in the middle of the summertime, and it's going to be a big moment. So let's move on then. Let's move on to Sunday night because for the first time ever, professional wrestling is happening in front of a live studio audience. And that was this past weekend because we've got Double or Nothing 2021.
Review. That's right. Live at Daly's.
New stage layout, too. We saw it a bit on the Friday before, so instead of having the 2 ramps coming down when you're kind of looking from the television side, it's the 1 ramp onto the left because they've stacked a bunch of fucking additional seating super close, and no longer are the baby faces and the heels kind of separately on either side of the ring. Now it's just purely people here to have a good time.
That's right. Just one tunnel, one entrance. It's kind of like on a diagonal, which is kind of interesting. Looks cool.
Yeah, and so my biggest thing that I kind of noticed right off the bat, I'm looking for that little green smiley shirt. Nowhere to be found. So either the layout and the tickets were confusing, and I'm thinking maybe he bought a ticket, but on the side that the camera was on, kind of thinking that would not be the case, and however it worked. But I gotta say, this was the biggest show that I have not seen him at. I hope he's okay.
I hope so too.
I hope so.
Maybe I don't know where he's from. Maybe there's some travel restrictions that he can't get there. But I don't know.
He's our Nav super fan.
Yeah. Also, it was kind of cool. Like the side that the camera sees, it was much higher up. It was like a fucking, I don't know, like 20 feet up there, the front row.
Yeah,
Just
so they were
look.
all looking down
Yeah, it was like a
onto
balcony.
the action. It was really, like a balcony. I think at one point, Paul White walks past, and he, like, they're taller than him out there. Some of the people are kind of standing up on the on that thing.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It was a big moment that deserved such, I think.
I feel like the viewing, like even though you're a bit farther from the wrestlers, like when they go down to the other side of the ring, you can now see what they're doing instead of being blocked by everything.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Kind of giving, it really gave, like all 4 sides of the ring were covered with fans, and the entranceway was really just kind of on that little diagonal strip.
Yeah,
cool. Kind of going off into the corner. So, it was great.
And even just seeing, like, the camera was in a different position, so you saw a different side of Daly's place.
Like, it made it look like a whole new show. That's really what it did. You know, when we're so used to the cookie cutter hockey arena entrance ramp on one side, hard camera here, we're used to that look, right? So anything new and different is gonna feel fun.
And this was fun.
It wasn't even fun. The fun didn't start at 8 p.m. No, absolutely not. The fun started at 7:30 when live on YouTube of all places. You didn't even have to pay for this. The buy-in is live on YouTube, where we had Serena Deeb defending her NWA Women's World Championship against the first ever AEW Women's Champion, Riho.
That's right. 7:30 p.m. The sun was still glaring outside, but
it was beautiful. It looked like like a pre-show on WrestleMania, but everyone's hyped.
It was cool. Yeah, the sun was hot, and so was the crowd. And this match, this second time around for Riho here in AEW, I've been so much more into her. She just, I think the problem with her being the first champ, she's just such a good like underdog baby face, and when you're the champ already, it's like you got nothing to chase.
Every single time she's out, the fans want it. The fans want more Riho every time she's there. But yeah, you're right. That could have been part of the reason why it didn't really work out for her the first time around.
Yeah, but this was fantastic. They got to go 14 minutes, which never would have happened probably on the main card. But Deeb just working over the knee, bunch of crazy dragon screws and all these variations that Excalibur was naming off.
That he was beautifully describing exactly what was what.
And JR's like, whoa, don't know that one.
Shit, he had another good. Every single time. I got to start writing
every
these things
time.
down.
He just knows everything.
I got to start writing these things down.
Yeah.
Some of the things that he says, wow.
Yeah, but lots of big near falls. Riho hits a bunch of double foot stomps off the top rope. But eventually, the damaged knee, Serena Deeb just grabs it, slams it into the mat repeatedly, and applies the Serenity Lock, and forces Riho to tap out.
Serenity Lock! Serenity Lock!
Yeah, it got the job done. Awesome match. Serena Deeb retains.
Yeah. Serena Deeb retains. Riho gets the crowd going by the end of it.
Best pre-show match ever.
It may have been at least in AEW's history. Yeah, certainly the fan engagement is what's going to, what sets a huge part of the show apart. Or really kind of it makes it important because the fans and the crowd was into this so much. Yeah.
My only small complaint, and it's nothing to do with they kind of did it throughout the night. Just every now and then they kind of rushed the celebrations. They cut right away. I wanted to see the crowd breathe and give a standing ovation to these two.
Yeah, there were a couple. I can't remember. There may have been a couple.
Maybe also, towards the second half of the show, they were kind of rushing.
You're like, oh shit, we're almost at 4 hours here. We gotta keep moving. We gotta keep moving. Well, before this podcast gets to 4 hours, it's 8 p.m. It's time to get into Double or Nothing 2021. Is Double or Nothing their mania? Like, what's a bigger show, Double or Nothing or All Out? Like, what's the bigger show?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like All In was like their debut, but they weren't AEW yet. So I guess Double or Nothing was the first AEW pay-per-view officially, and then All Out. I don't know.
And every Double or Nothing is a huge deal, just like every All Out is a huge deal. So this card starts, and hopefully it's no different. We got the age connection here. We got Adam Hangman Page taking on Brian Cage for nothing but 2 undefeated streaks on the line.
Yeah, just some good fun wrestling. The crowd's still super hot for everything. They love Hangman Page. Brian Cage acting a little too cocky. He starts mocking Hangman, trying to steal his moves, which on commentary, Taz would just get pissed off the whole time. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. He tries to do the buckshot lariat, but Hangman avoids, and then he starts taking Page out of Cage's book. Does an F5. And then at one point there was like a Cage goes for a top rope power bomb, but Page reverses that into a big Hurricane Rana. And then eventually Starks and Hook come running out against Cage's wishes. They distract the ref. They toss him the FTW title for him to use, but he says no, throws it back at Ricky Starks. And then he yells at Hook. But all this distraction allows Hangman to set up, hit the buckshot lariat, get the win.
In a huge, hard-hitting match to kick off the event. Of course, after the match, Ricky Starks and Captain Hook. They were asking that Brian Cage. He kind of pushed them off. He kind of pushed them off. Maybe he's like, he kind of threw aside that illustrious FTW championship. Maybe turning into a little bit of a babyface star right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, I could see it. They've been teasing this for a little while now, so I think they're going to follow through.
Mm-hmm. And Adam Hangman Page continues to, look like the threat to dethrone Kenny right now.
Yeah,
he keeps getting big wins over people of anybody, kind of anybody and everybody. Small, fast, big, slow. all four of the styles.
Yeah, I think that could be your all-out main event. Hangman versus Kenny.
Hangman Kenny for that AEW championship. Yeah, either way, crowd was hot. I was hot, and the sun was still shining. The sun was still shining. You want to talk about a hot crowd? Next match we have coming up is the Young Bucks taking on Moxley and Kingston for that AEW Tag Team Championship. John Moxley still coming in on his wild thing.
Yeah, they switched the versions though.
Switched a little bit of it switched to
like the Major League version.
Yeah, they switched specifically to Major League versions. to get more of a wild thing. Enormous pop from the crowd. Jon Moxley walking through that crowd, and Eddie Kingston just, man, you love seeing it. This is Eddie Kingston we're talking about here.
This is his first real crowd moment, right?
He had that main event at what was it, Revolution?
Yeah.
But yeah, Eddie Kingston in front of a huge crowd, singing alongside him. I also like that it kind of removes it from, it removes it from almost being like Moxley's theme. You know, it's not the AEW Moxley theme. It's a new thing that the two of them get to kind of come out to together. And it was a nice feeling. And of course, the Young Bucks come up to their, what are they wearing this time? It was like a blue and orange. White
blue,
leather?
white, orange. I was trying to think if it was. Yeah,
I
couldn't.
It was a weird look. I think it was Matt Jackson dyed his hair.
Yeah, like an auburn.
Everyone's looking good. Everyone's looking good. This is double.
Everyone's looking good. I mean, hey, this you booked this as the main event, so they wanted to look big here.
Yeah.
Were you surprised when this was number 2 on the card?
Not really. I think it's a difference between what I want the main, what I want my booking to look like, and what I actually think. You know what happened?
Well, it doesn't matter because we got some great action here. Just you know what these guys could do. Just back and forth. Bucks are high flying. Moxley, Kingston are brawling. And of course, it's a pay-per-view, so Moxley gets the blade at one point. Wasn't as deep as some of the other ones, but we got a little blood there.
No, we need those wide, crazy eyes of Jon Moxley peering through dried and sweaty blood.
Yeah. Then at one point in the match, Matt Jackson just starts pulling out a bunch of greatest hits of old WWF wrestlers like Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan. I guess that's an easy way to get booed these days, reference Hulk Hogan.
That's an easy way to get... I mean, yeah, do anything Hulkamania related, that's a boo. Maybe not in the state of Florida, though. I'm not too sure. You may have to go to a more liberal state like Oregon.
I mean, WrestleMania was in Florida. He got booed.
I mean, he gets booed kind of wherever he goes. Maybe it's one of those things, too, where now you just got to be a part of it. It was like booing Roman. Back in the day. Like, you just gotta boo Roman because that's what you do. Roman Reigns comes out on television, then you boo him. Hulk Hogan comes out, you boo him.
Well, the Good Brothers come out here to try and interfere, but then Frankie Kazarian jumps in, so he gets rid of them. And amidst all this chaos behind the ref's back, Matt pulls out the cold spray, and he sprays Moxley in the eyes and then clocks him in the head with the can. But that only gets a 2 count. So the Bucks follow up with a Meltzer driver onto the ramp. But then Moxley recovers and pulls out the stolen Jordans, which I thought they buried in the ground.
He dug them back up, baby?
I guess so. And then he uses the Jordan to hit a Doomsday device onto Matt. But eventually it all breaks down. Everyone's in the ring. The Bucks are just handing out super kicks left and right. But Moxley won't stay down. So they grab him. They hit not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 BTE triggers in a row, just crushing his head against their knees. And that finishes the job. The Young Bucks retain. Hard-fought match.
In a huge match. I believe Excalibur, just go back on that, I believe he didn't call it the Doomsday device, he called it the Dior's Day device. I think that was where I caught it. We were talking about Hulk Hogan earlier. Luke Gallows these days looks like he's trying to do his best Hulk Hogan impression. Just kind of orange. I don't know if you
and he always orange and glistening.
Every single time he comes out, he's a little more tanned and a little shinier. Every single time he comes out, all up until the Young Bucks eventually retain. Mike, you know why I booked this as the main event? Well, of course you know why. You watched all 21 minutes of this. This was too hot, too soon. The crowd was so into this match. I was too. When I cheer at a near fall, I do this thing. It's almost like we're coming down to a minute left in the game. You know, I am kind of hands on knee, but squatting ish in front of the television. And every time they kick out, I just let one fuck out. It's a quick one. It's a quick clap and curse. And that's all I need. And then maybe a little twirl about, catch myself, and then I'm back in. I was doing that this whole god damn match. And I thought it would have been sick. It would have been sick if they won. It would have been sick if Eddie Kingston won. And they had me going. They had me going for so long. I thought Moxley and Kingston were going to pull it over. But surprisingly to me, it's Moxley who takes the pin. After Eddie Kingston was, kind of injured in the angle on his leg the whole time, you kind of think Kingston will be the one to take the pin. But no, it was Moxley. That doesn't happen too often.
No, but he did look pretty strong in defeat with those 4 BTE triggers.
Yeah.
So they'll be fine. I wonder if Mox and Kingston keep teaming up or if they split up. Or I don't know. See what they do. I mean, I'm sure they'll still be buddies, but whether they focus on singles wrestling, we'll see.
Yeah, because now Eddie Kingston is now babyface forever. AEW's got to stop making people baby faces forever. Unless, it's the Moxley turn. Is that what we're waiting for? God, who knows? But yeah, I'd like to see these guys at least keep at the Young Bucks for a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no reason why they can't for a little bit.
No reason.
We'll see. But let's go on to the annual Casino Battle Royale.
Which every year feels, or, I guess this is our 3rd installment of it, feels a little bit more important every single time it happens. Almost like, almost with the feeling of this is AEW's Rumble.
Yeah, they do. The presentation, they've done a bit better job. Like, even the guys get a bit more of an individual entrance, even though they come out as groups. They play their music. And we at
least get 30 seconds, depending on how popular you are. We get 30 seconds at least of each person having a thing, right? Maybe a little more importance on each individual competitor.
Yeah. So the first man out, Christian Cage, and he would last pretty much right till the end there. And Powerhouse Hobbs, he had a good showing. Max Caster, he did his whole rap at the beginning. But I was surprised. He had this big entrance, then he got tossed out real early.
Immediately, what felt like. But, hey.
Hey, it's a battle royale. Anything goes.
That's the way it goes.
The Hardy family office, they were working together there. Christian and Matt, they had a nice little nostalgic standoff. The crowd popped for them.
Yeah, when, who was it? I think when Cassidy came down to the ring, I didn't know that. Since when has Private Party's ring attire just been things you would wear to a club on Miami Beach? They came out and I'm like, oh, okay, Cassidy's doing the whole, he's walking Matt Hardy down to the ring. It looks so, they're like wrestling in loafers and culottes. I don't like it.
I think they're supposed to be suits because of the Hardy money.
The brand thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's not that great.
They worked me over. Whatever.
Pentagon had a cool outfit. He had a Joker thing going on.
Yeah, badass. Badass.
He was not the Joker card though. We'll get to that. But he looked great. Him and Jungle Boy came in later on and both good picks, both hot picks to maybe win this thing. Crowd loved Jungle Boy, of course. They're singing his song, which I'm going to have to learn.
Which, I was able to pick it. I think it's a real song, though. It's a real song, though.
It's a real song, but I don't know it.
I think I was able to pick up the whoa, kind of by the end of it.
I'm sure if you're there live, you'll pick it up. But it was fun. Everyone's loving him. Just like the Dark Order guys, they were in there for a bit. Then we get to the Joker card, the annual surprise, and this year we get Lio Rush making his AEW debut.
Lio
former WWE / other companies, and he looked fine, but I was surprised he didn't really last very long at all. He kind of came in.
Me too. I was also kind of surprised about this. It felt like he lasted. I don't even know if he had any eliminations or anything.
No, he didn't. He came in, he kind of did a couple moves, and Private Party dumped him. So,
I mean, maybe that's all you need. But Lio Rush in the place where the quick guys can shine. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm sure, him and Pac, they could have some cool matches.
Lio
stuff
Rush
like
and Pac, Lio Rush and Aleister Black when he gets here. Lio Rush and anyone and Rey Fenix. Lio Rush and Penta. Lio Rush and anybody who likes being dropped directly on their head. I think is a good combo for Lio Rush. Spike Ranas, we're going to be seeing them a lot more these days.
Well, we get down to the final 5. You got Matt Hardy and Private Party, Jungle Boy and Christian. So, of course, the 3 members of the Hardy family working together. But Jungle Boy and Christian team up. So they eliminate the Private Party. So now Matt, he's all alone. He proposes to Christian that they work together. But Christian says, okay, and then tosses him over the ropes anyways. So we're down to Christian Cage and Jungle Boy. And they have this nice little sequence. They fight out onto the edge of the apron. Christian throws Jungle Boy into the ring post, but he swings around like Tarzan back under the bottom rope. And then Christian comes charging at him, but Jungle Boy gets him with the back body drop to the floor. Jungle Boy Jack Perry has won the Battle Royal, earning himself a future world title shot. In
what felt like a huge moment. Not only was the match a lot of fun down the stretch there, but you said earlier, not giving the time to certain matches when they did take the win, or kind of giving them that moment. They gave. I think it's because they spent all the time here on Jungle Boy, who was the clear crowd favorite.
Yeah, he was when he won. Jurassic Express came out. They put him on his shoulders. The crowd's singing the song. Everyone's happy. Even Christian Cage just kind of grabs him by the head. He's like, you do this, kid! You go win it all! So.
Which wasn't that so fun to see? Bringing an older professional, such as Christian. You bring him over. No, not for a Raw yearly special where you get your face thrown into a little bit of cake. No. Used to actually make Jungle Boy, who... future of the company, to make him look good. Wow.
Yeah, this was great. Everyone loves Jungle Boy.
It's the Joe Thornton effect, right? Joe Thornton doesn't come to the Maple Leafs so he can have another 136-point season. No, he comes onto the Leaf to provide that veteran leadership and maybe some, beard growing lessons along the way. Joe Thornton doesn't need $11 million a season to make the biggest things happen. No, he needs to be there to nurture and teach these young men. So Christian Cage was doing this whole match, it felt like.
Yeah, no, like we said, he came out in the number 1 spot, lasted all the way to the end, so that's so good. He really did outwork everyone in this match. So
and congrats to Lio Rush, like we said earlier. An electrifying debut. Anytime there's a Spike Rana or one of those things that I have no glad they do it. It's like you can just picture Will Ospreay and Ricochet doing it, where they just kind of like constantly reverse each other for a minute. And there's a point where everyone jumps, flips, and then lands at the same time, and we all get the chance to whoa! Who knows how they plan that shit? But Lio Rush, welcome to AEW. Now go give someone a Spike Rana. Yeah, that's what I want to see him do.
Darby Allin, he's tiny.
Give Darby Allin a Spike Rana. Maybe some of these guys in AEW though are so small. We need it's like a cruiserweight. Guys who are nowhere close to 205 pound, like these guys like Leo and Darby, busting out a $180.
Well, we had that big weigh-in. We found out Cody and Anthony Ogogo are only 218 pounds, so they're pretty close to cruiserweight.
That almost feels like they're close to cruiserweight. Well, at least Vince's idea of a cruiserweight.
Yeah. Then in between matches, we bring out some veterans and some service dogs. Play some military videos because we want to get the crowd all chanting USA, right?
I think that was probably the plan. I think this was the opportunity where I either did the dishes or I was doing something during this because we knew it was going to happen. Because if we're talking America, we're talking about the American dream. Right. Come to this country with nothing in your pocket but a sack full of dreams and of just a pack of rubbers, and then eventually you can turn that into one of the biggest matches for this country or for that country. I haven't seen a match so patriotic since the Iron Sheik took on Hulk Hogan, baby. Of course, we're talking about the American Dream, Cody Rhodes, taking on the British guy, Anthony Ogogo.
Anthony Ogogo. Yeah, so this was kind of the first real lull in the crowd.
And I was wondering, the whole time the show goes on, we know how much show there is coming, and you're just thinking to yourself, oh, I hope this match gets enough time. I hope this match is put in a nice place. And the crowd was so hot after this Battle Royal. I'm so glad it was this match for me personally. I'm so glad that this one fell after a match that I was popping off all the time.
Yeah.
For.
Yeah, no, I mean, in the match itself, it wasn't anything special. A Go-Go lands his body blows early on, hits a nice Olympic slam. But at some point, he got cut open as well. I don't know if it was intentional or not.
Yeah, I think I might have missed that one too, kind of. Or yeah, who knows?
Yeah. Anyways, he hits a nice frog splash, but then Cody fights back and hits the vertebraker, and that gets him the 3 count. So, I love that move, but I didn't know that was his.
I didn't know it was. Didn't know it was in his also.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was. Yeah, felt a little. I mean, I love the move, but the match itself felt a little flat. Go loses his first big match, and the feud really did nothing for Cody. It's like, we already know you're American. Now you won.
We already know you're American. We've already know you got a half.
Cody on.
We already know you got a half or a mix race.
Yeah. I mean, Anthony Ogogo is a mixed race man himself.
It kind of looks like he was in the first place. My biggest takeaway from this match, besides that it just sort of turned into a Cody Rhodes match, where Cody looking suspiciously exactly similar to Homelander, character from the Amazon Prime television show The Boys. Looked too very, very much so, and the no spoiler review, Homelander maybe not necessarily the type of person you want to look like, or maybe to have resembled to. Although he may be believed to be America's hope, I don't know if Cody Rhodes. I don't know. Maybe that could be some foreshadowing coming forward. I don't know. Heard it here. You might have heard it here first, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, either way, they accomplished their goal of Cody being on the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. Which is the constant goal, get Cody on the show, and we did it.
Yeah. Up next, we have Miro defending the TNT title against Lance Archer. And then just kind of right off the bat, Archer just dives over the top rope at Miro, nearly lands on his head on the ramp.
And Lance Archer throughout this match does a bunch of things that you don't think a 46-year-old man who's 6'5" could do. But that's not who Lance Archer is.
No, he's walking the ropes. He's moonsaulting. He's doing all this shit. Miro gets slammed through a table on the floor. Then later on in the match, Jake Roberts comes out. And, of course, he's got his sack with him, which, I mean, we're always led to believe contains the snake. But then Miro grabs it, shakes it all around, and just chucks it down the ramp.
Chucks it. Huge booze. Huge booze.
We all know that there's not a real snake in there, because obviously that wouldn't fly. But I think even the implication of abusing a snake could upset some people.
I don't know. Who was it on Raw who smashed the cage? What's in the cage?
The giant spider.
Who was that?
Rowan?
Was it also Rusev? I don't remember. Maybe he just has a history. Somebody did it. There was an implied thing, and then it was beaten. Either way,
it was. I don't know. I found it interesting because it's like, but we know there's not a real snake in there. But some of these people were booing like he actually did hurt. Like not a cheap. It was like a.
And I'm a lot of kilometers away from Jacksonville, and I booed the shit out of that.
Yeah,
but yeah, I do see what you're saying. You need a little like
some people were like offended by it.
Yeah,
I mean,
you need a little like PETA, kind of notice. Like no snakes were harmed in the making of this pay-per-view.
But after that, Miro hits a big super kick to Archer and then locks him in the game over. Archer passes out. Miro retains.
Yeah, he kind of like reefs back on that.
Yeah, no getting out of that.
Reefs back on that. Just like two big dudes beating the hell out of each other. So, and having, Lance Archer never tapped. He passed out. Because, these two guys seem to be in that scene. But, yeah, I love the TNT Championship's been fantastic ever since Darby Allin got his hands on it. And really, like, the whole time. When Cody was doing his open challenges, and then of course Darby was hung up a little bit, but then he went on that string of amazing matches.
Yeah, he made up for it.
Yeah, I just hope Miro can. It's amazing that he got released. Like just so far, Miro post, whatever those guys are called. What are those guys called? Kip Sabian.
Yeah, the first little bit was that whole best man thing.
Post Kip Sabian, Miro's been on a tear. Let's just, watch it going. Lana's coming over too soon, so you can both give a little.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys can write your own cuck angle. Or Lana shows up on AEW. They reference the Bobby Lashley cuck within the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, someone does.
Somebody does.
But let's go to the AEW Women's Championship here. Hikaru Shida defending against Dr. Britt Baker. This is the one I've been waiting for. And the crowd, too. Britt Baker, she got a huge ovation. They're loving her. But Shida had many supporters as well. Lots of chanting throughout, just back and forth.
Well, and we should say on the Friday before, they unveiled the new design for the Women's Championship, which is kind of like the same thing, but bigger and golder.
Yeah, looks much better, I think. The design, the old one definitely looked too small. It looked like the youth version of the title belts.
Yeah, this one's a little bit bigger, but still has that ovular shape in the middle there.
Yeah, looks much better, I think.
It's all good.
But, the match itself, well-paced, back and forth. Of course, you had Rebel there at ringside. She hands Baker a special. It's like a blinged-out glove for the occasion. Nice red and black, sparkly shit. I don't know what's on it, but I'm sure it's okay to go in your mouth.
It's probably just plastic.
Yeah. But then we kick it into high gear. We get a bunch of big near falls. Baker hits the air raid crash. And then soon after that, Britt goes to shove Shida into the ropes as Rebel swings at her with the crutch, but Shida ducks it. Baker gets hit in the head instead. Shida covers her, gets a 2 count. I was real close on that one. The crowd was going nuts.
It could have happened.
And then she picks her up, hits a Falcon Arrow for another 2 count. So then Rebel jumps up on the apron with the crutch again. But this time the refs have had enough with her. So he ejects Rebel from ringside. But as all this is going on, Britt Baker grabs the AEW Women's title. She smashes Shida in the head with it and then curb stomps her onto the belt. The refs turns around just as she makes the cover, but Shida kicks out at 2. So she fires back at Britt. She hits her finisher, the Tamashi, but then Britt kicks out of that. So this is just electric now. Crowd is in full gear at Double or Nothing. But Baker, she finally is able to get Shida into that lockjaw, and she's got nowhere to go. She taps out. We have a new AEW Women's Champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
And D. I like this thing we're doing now. We're gonna point it in the crowd. DMD. Nice taunt. Yeah. Possibly two of the best taunts kind of going for the collective of Dr. Britt Baker and Adam Cole. If we were to look at kind of, a combo, a taunt combo, DMD, baby. That's what we're calling it from now on. Put it on the shirt. But yeah, expectations were real high for Britt Baker.
Yeah, they pulled the trigger. They finally pulled the trigger. The women's revolution is here in AEW, and Britt Baker is the leader.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can't use that. I'm pretty sure women's revolution is a registered trademark by the WWE. But yeah, the crowd was on fire for Britt Baker. I think we wanted it. And
Rebel. Yeah, we had the nice celebration. Rebel runs out. Tony leaves the commentary booth.
Tony leaves the commentary booth. Schiavone.
Yeah.
Is Tony Schiavone AEW's Fit Finlay?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. It sort of seems as though Fit Finley's waiting there for Becky Lynch to come down with both of those championships. Bloody right. It was this was it. This was Britt Baker's culmination of kind of being at the top of this division, and Shida did a great job of giving her this match, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone can regroup. This Friday we have our whatever it is, championship celebration, where I want to see if we're getting Britt Baker babyface or Britt Baker heel face.
I think she'll be heel face.
Yeah, well,
she'll be beloved. She'll be beloved.
Yeah, it'll be funny to see where they go from there, and can't wait to see what her next program is.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to hopefully seeing her in that belt nearly every week on television.
Yeah. Oh, of course, she'll be there every week, and we're not just talking about, hey, it's 9:30, let's get Britt Baker on television. No, I'm talking about.
Hey, it's main event time.
Hey, it's main event time, or hey, let's kick off the show with
a 20-minute match.
Something big.
Yeah, I mean Thunder Rosa Part 2. That's a big match right there.
Exactly. Yeah. How can you make it more intense? I don't even know. More thumbtacks.
Well, let's move along here because we got tag team action. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky teaming up against Darby Allin and Sting.
It's Sting!
Yeah, we kind of got this like black and white intro. I guess they pull up together, skateboard, drive. Whatever.
Yeah, they're skateboarding. They're in cars. They're in the desert. It's moody. They're alone. You get it. Crows are out there picking at carcasses. It's very dark.
Very dark. Much like, the sun is set. It's now dark outside. We're ready to start this thing. And they just kind of start outside the ring. They're just brawling all over the place. You and I, we had a big talking point going in about, will Sting wear a shirt or not when he wrestles?
Because he comes out wearing a T-shirt, and I think to myself, I feel like I bet Mike that he wouldn't be wearing this gross looking T-shirt. I lost the bet.
So yeah, he's wearing the shirt. The fighting starts. Scorpio Sky hits a big vertical suplex to Sting onto the ramp. And he's like, yeah. And
everybody, a unanimous arena, and possibly worldwide, just that kind of like, it was kind of you inhale, and then while you're inhaling, your hands make their way to the top of your head.
Yeah.
As you stand there in disbelief.
Yeah, but before you can get too worried, Sting just pops right back up. He grabs Scorpio Sky, throws him to the floor, and then he takes off his shirt.
Yes.
That was one of my biggest pops of the night.
This was one of the biggest pops of the year. The 62-year-old icon Sting ripping his shirt off like he's David Hasselhoff running down the beach.
Oh yeah, we got the old school Sting. This was obviously they were playing with you here. Like, oh, you think we're wearing a shirt? No, we're not wearing a shirt.
Yeah, you think we're wearing? And this was it. And we were kind of, I think, talking with this when eventually Sting did come back. It's like the big moment will happen in front of the fans. Like, I think this is a big moment that has been like we've been waiting for this to be the big moment, and then it finally we got the big fucking splash down onto the floor,
off the poker chips.
Everyone's going nuts.
Yeah, we haven't even officially started, and everyone's already loving Sting.
Yeah.
So, but that wasn't his only big spot. He wasn't just standing on the side. He was participating in the whole match here.
The entire time.
Yeah. But, the other guys, they chipped in too. Ethan Page recreated a classic ECW moment when he picked up Darby Allin and just tossed him over the top rope, all the way over the barricade, into the crowd, onto his family on the floor.
Family!
Just like, it was have you ever seen the Spike Dudley one, the classic?
No, I've never seen that. I'll have to look it up.
Although I think they actually just threw him into a crowd that wasn't expecting it.
I wasn't expecting it. Oh, imagine that. You just came back from buying a $14 beer, and then Darby Allin gets thrown into you. God damn it.
But then back in the ring, Sting just starts running wild. He's hitting his stinger splashes, followed by a code red, which didn't look too bad for a 62-year-old.
Was that the...
It's kind of like the little flipping power bomb in the corner thing.
Yeah, okay.
Not quite a destroyer.
It was like a Panama. Yeah. No.
Not quite a
Flip-ish.
destroyer. Yeah. Sunset flip-ish.
Okay. Yeah. I also saw that. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. No, the crowd's loving it.
Way to go, big boy.
And then he puts on the Scorpion Deathlock, and the crowd goes wild for that. And he did look pretty good. I've seen a lot of guys lock that move and didn't do as good as Sting did here. But it gets broken up. So coming down to the end here, We're down to Scorpio and Sting. They're both in the ring together. They fight over to the ropes. Scorpio jumps for a springboard cutter, but Sting just holds onto the ropes for the perfect counter right into the Scorpion death drop. And that gets a 3 count for him and Darby. What a great... Blew away my expectations, Sting.
Oh, this was so much fun. It was short and punchy. And yeah, the fans were into it huge. The baby faces got the win. And Sting loves professional wrestling. That's why.
Yeah, he wasn't there for just one hot tag, boom, boom, bang. He was in the whole match.
He showed up and showed out in the emotional, well-deserved outcome for one of wrestling's what feels like. I didn't know who Sting was, the man formerly or always been known as Sting. Whatever we want to call him. It feels like he's got to be wrestling's like a top 5 just most beloved. He's like the opposite Hulk. Wherever Hulk goes, he gets booed. Where if Sting just him being there, you want to smile.
Yeah.
You want to cheer for the guy.
He's like an Undertaker. A larger than life mythical type.
Maybe, kind of being like WCW's Undertaker.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very much that same feeling where...
It's like always kept his character, he was always Sting, he was always the brooding badass.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. It was, and it was a great match. It was a great match to reflect that.
Apparently, this was the one that held all the guys backstage going wild for the veteran.
Oh, I bet.
All the boys in the back.
You see a 62-year-old going nuts out there. Hell yeah, you're going to be stomping around.
But we're not done. We still got 2 more big matches on this card.
2 more matches. Oh, my Lord. I think we're coming up right around hour 3 on this point. Or the end of hour 3. Jesus Christ.
And these 2 matches are both going about a half hour each.
Something in me had a feeling.
Yeah. But we're starting with the AEW World Heavyweight Championship here. Kenny Omega defending against Orange Cassidy and Pac. Of course, Cassidy was the natural babyface. The crowd, he was the favorite. Everyone was loving him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was just 27 minutes of just good action. No real lulls. Just you had 3 men, lots of different styles. Pac doing his flips, Cassidy doing his shtick, the hands in the pockets, countering moves. Lots of high flying, lots of good stuff here. Mm-hmm. Eventually, Pac kicks Orange Cassidy in the balls, hits the Black Arrow, but Kenny he breaks that pin up. So Orange Cassidy hits the beach break on Kenny for another big 2 count. Crowd was into all this, but soon after, Orange Cassidy's in control. Both men are down, or he hits the orange punch onto Pac. And then on commentary, Don Callis is just like, oh, shit.
Yeah, so his headset, you can hear it just get viciously thrown off to the side.
Yeah. So he just gets up from the booth, runs down to the ring as Orange Cassidy hits another orange punch on Pac and covers him for the pin. But that damn Don Callis pulls the ref out of the ring at the 2 count, costing him the belt.
Oh, my God.
So he gets back in the ring. Pac gets Cassidy in the brutalizer. So Kenny starts kicking at him, but he won't break the hold. So Kenny has no choice but to knock the ref out instead. And then one of the funny parts of the match, Kenny just has Don just start tossing him all his belts one at a time. He just nails Pac in the head with all 4 of the belts. So he's down. Cassidy comes back to life, and then he hits Kenny with the orange punch. He makes the pin, but the ref is still out, so Aubrey comes sprinting down to the ring. She makes the count. But at 2, Kenny reverses with a crucifix pin and gets a 3 on Orange Cassidy to retain his title.
In a lot of fun. Oh, my God. Callis coming in there. What also started the fuck you Callis chants.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a lot of fun to hear. Because fuck that guy. Kenny Omega also finally, this was the first time I noticed, being billed from Winnipeg.
Yeah, they said
instead of they did the not by North Carolina. They referenced it.
Yeah.
And then they kind of went the other way, so I thought that was cool because, of course, Don Callis is always talking about Kenny Omega in Winnipeg, so that fit. You know what I think this was? This was a test run for Orange Cassidy to seeing if we can actually accept, we the fans accept Orange Cassidy in a main event role in a big time world title match. You know, he's he's one of the biggest merch sellers on the planet, but can he put on a match that you actually get engaged in, more engaged than Orange Cassidy seemingly is more often than time? And the fans were red hot. They were fired up every single possible opportunity. When he came back for that, when he had that pin on Kenny, like, that's fucking over. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way he can do this. Oh my God, they're going to do it. And just before that 3 comes down, Kenny kicks out. They had us going the whole time. It was great to see him celebrating with the other guys in the Elite without actually having the Elite come out and kind of cause the interference or distraction. Having it just be Callis. Setting up, for Callis's impending super kick party of his own, where he will be the sole invitee of it. But yeah, that's exactly it. Freshly squeezed. He's going to be the top of the card, probably way faster than they thought he would have made it here, the top of the card. Kind of one of these AEW success stories right now. Him, Kingston. It's great to see, these guys have big moments.
Yeah.
Cassidy to himself, I think he's like 36 years old.
Really?
Yeah. Also, yeah. He's not on that kind of, when we think of like MJF, Jungle Boy, Darby, that super young side of things. Yeah, Orange Cassidy, 37.
A late bloomer.
A
well-ripened orange.
It's so juicy. It's so juicy.
Valencia.
There's so much pulp.
Yeah, great match. Orange Cassidy definitely passes the test. Will this crowd accept him as a world champion? Absolutely.
Absolutely they could. Absolutely they can. And absolutely we will. He'll win that thing one day.
We will. But right before the main event, we get one little surprise here as Tony Schiavone is in the ring to introduce us to our newest member of the AEW broadcast team, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
The world's strongest man. He can lift anything. Anything ever. He can lift it. He can lift it.
He can legitimately, he can roll up a frying pan in his bare hands.
Oh, really? That's pretty.
Like a burrito.
That's a pretty cool, not practical skill to have. But yeah, that's right. So Mark Henry is going to be doing the Rampage coverage coming up on Fridays in the fall on TNT and then later on TBS. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I got no problems with it.
Of course,
We'll see how he does.
He'll kind of do commentary the same way that Paul White's doing shit over there on Elevation. But what I think it is, it's more people helping out backstage. It's more pros who know what's going on, kind of lending the direction to. I mean, we see these guys like Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, even Kenny Omega's 37 years old. Some of these guys are getting older, but there's a lot of younger people coming in, and it's great that they have this guidance as soon as they get there.
Yeah, he can be a mentor for someone like an Anthony Ogogo, another former real world athlete.
Exactly, Anthony, Powerhouse Hobbs.
There you go.
See, it's I already have it. So that's great news. Check it out Fridays in the fall, 10 p.m. Rampage. I'll be watching.
Yeah, we'll watch. We'll let you know on this show how he does. But let's go to this main event here of the evening. We're talking about Stadium Stampede Part 2. This time featuring the Inner Circle taking on the Pinnacle. And if the Inner Circle lose, they must disband forever.
Forever and ever. Forever. The exact amount of time that Cody Rhodes cannot challenge for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Same amount of time.
That's right.
Don't think I haven't forgotten, you son of a bitch. Not you. He's the son of a bitch.
No, yeah. But maybe that's his heel move. He's like, well, Cody's not allowed, but I'm Cody Rhodes now.
Hey, Homelander does what he wants. Watch it. Check it out. Amazon Prime.
Okay. But this match starts off. We get a stretch limousine pulling onto the field. MJF gets out of the car and starts cutting a promo. But then Judas hits, and we pan up high in the sky as the members of Inner Circle are rappelling down from the scoreboard, or just the big video board, whatever it was.
Rappelling like they're rock climbers.
Yeah, or like SWAT agents coming down.
SWAT agents, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, either way, I mean, Jericho still got his busted arm, so good for him doing this. Yeah, so they rappel down, they reach the field, they go after MJF, but he just jumps into the car, jumps into the limo, locks himself in, and then the rest of the Pinnacle members pull up on a pickup truck, and everyone just starts brawling onto the field. You know, there's a ring there in the middle, but very briefly gets used. You know, eventually everyone just kind of partners off and fights off backstage into their own little different sections of Daly's place. So like MJF and Jericho, they fight through the Jacksonville Jaguars. They right into the coach's office. I don't know their names, but they were there. They made a little cameo, just kind of handing weapons to Jericho.
Throwing
Laptop,
footballs.
Football. Yeah. So they're fighting. They're doing their thing. Wardlow and Jake Hager, they fight into a deep freezer. And then Wardlow just grabs an icicle off the wall, and he's ready to wield it like a knife. A shiv, if you will. But they get out of there. Wardlow spears Hager through a wall. And then we cut to Sammy Guevara. And Sean Spears doing like, I don't know, I feel like this is a reference to something where he's like sitting in the chair in the spotlight and doing a little tap.
You know what I think this is a reference for? This is a reference to one of my favorite gimmicks of all time. Of course, we're talking about Anna Jay. This felt like the like the Broadway. You're sitting
like
there,
West Side Story or something.
No, I thought more of just like it's like a outtake from Chicago. You know,
I was thinking that.
Yeah,
I don't know, just like gangs, but to fight like.
It was a whole thing. It also gave me. I thought for a second they were gonna maybe dive into a little like a Reservoir Dogs type action. Well, Sammy Guevara's sitting down there on that chair, and then you know, Sean Spears, he was doing a little dance around it, like whatever that guy's name is, Mr.
Blonde.
Mr. Blonde. Thank you. Yeah. But either way, I was hoping for like a 7-minute musical number. I never got it. Not to say I won't get it.
No,
I just never got it this particular time.
Yeah, they were just in this room full of chairs. I guess just storage.
And LED lights, apparently, that are shining.
Storage room.
Right in the middle.
So they fight through there into some warehouse area. Spears smacks Sammy in the head with a ladder. And then he pulls out a pair of handcuffs that just kind of handcuffs him to a shelf and leaves. But thankfully, earlier in the fight, he had a pair of bolt cutters, which he tossed and happened to land right near Sammy.
Hey, good thing we saw him tossing those bolt cutters before, or I would have asked myself, what the fuck's that guy doing here?
Yeah. Then Santana and Ortiz arrive at this bar/club type thing where FTR and Tully are hanging out. And Tully's outfit, this was kind of funny to me. I don't know. Just like the cut-off sleeves, a little scarf around the neck.
Yeah, it looked like a little midnight cowboy type, type look for an old man.
Then we had a small cameo from Conan. He was the DJ in the booth there. So former WCW/AAA guy.
He kind of did a little record scratch.
Yeah, it was like, so everyone's brawling. We're making a big mess. We're smashing bottles. We're breaking furniture. They eventually fight their way onto an elevator. I think that's the last we see of them.
Yeah, they were only in it for a little period of time, but of course we were getting everybody sectioning themselves off there at Daly's place, just like we did last year.
Yeah, and we should say, so during this whole time, I guess the crowd was just kind of watching on the screen, and it was pretty quiet. There wasn't really much reactions, I felt, until the very end when they came out.
Yeah, who knows, right? That could have just been like, the volume control. It's hard to tell or whatever. I mean, I was into it, and I was also watching it on a screen, so I don't know.
Well, we go back to Wardlow and Hager, and they fight their way on top of a golf cart. Hager chokeslams Wardlow off, crashing through just some wooden structure they put together there. But I don't know what it was.
Something.
Then we go back to Jericho and MJF. They're now in a conference room. MJF gets some cards stapled to his head, but then he fights back, pile drivers Jericho onto the conference room table, and goes for a 2 count, our first pinfall attempt of the match. All right,
yeah, I think there may have been one super early, early. I think, I think
when
like
they were
Santana tried to get one over or something, but yeah.
Yeah. But then Jericho opens up this panel on the wall and pulls out his baseball bat, Floyd. Nails MJF in the head with it. And they added the sound effect there. That would kill a man if it was real. They thought, ting! You
The
can't do that to a man's
classic
skull.
metal bat hitting something sound.
Yeah, you'd be in a jail for battery and serious
Battery?
offenses. Serious. And then he grabs him. He smashes his head through the glass window. So that gives MJF a little chance to cut himself. And then we go back to Sean Spears, who's walking off on his own. And then this motorcycle gang. They called them something, but I don't know who they are. I don't know. Some guys on motorcycles.
No, they were on. They were on a thing before. It's just like the inner So the inner circle, they have their whole they look like a motorcycle club now.
Yeah.
And I think it was a bunch of episodes of Dynamite ago. They rode in beside their other people in the motorcycle club. So I think it was that.
So they're peripheral members of the inner circle.
They non-wrestling members. They pretty much handle all of the illegal activity, the drugs, the guns, all that kind of stuff. Chris Jericho outsources all of that to a whole other team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we go back to Chris Jericho and MJF, and they finally emerge into the real-life crowd here. They're in the upper bowl of Daly's place, fighting through the stands. They fight over to the lights, and Jericho just picks MJ up, power bombs him through this table. Looked pretty. He kind of got him right on the end there. Looked like a rough land.
Yeah, it was a little fake table, but still.
Yeah, still hurts.
Still
so
a table.
He's out. Then we cut back down to we see Sammy Guevara driving down to the ring in a golf cart, chasing after Sean Spears. So the two of them fight in the ring, but then Spears gets a chair, and he hits Sammy with a vicious shot to the head. Or at least it looked like it was to the head.
Yeah, he just got his arm up there.
He got it up, but
it was good. It was good. Yeah,
it was good. And Sammy somehow kicks out of that. So Sean Spears, he looks to do more damage with the chair, but Sammy escapes. He hits the GTH, and then there's a chair set up in the corner, and he just curb stomps Spears' head into the chair. And then he hits a 630 senton, and that gets him the pinfall. Big win for Inner Circle. The band is still together.
The band stays together. Chris Jericho on vocals, Sammy Guevara on bass, Jake Hager's playing the drums. Who else we got? Santana's playing guitar. Ortiz is ripping those keys, baby. The band has not been much music's disbanded for another year. You know what? There hasn't been. I can't think of a match where the expectations haven't been this big after a setting from the last year's match. Remember that first War Games match? The second one, we're thinking this is a gamble. It's gonna have to be as good as that first one. And of course it was. The third War Games match, it was just as good as the first two. And say this one, Stadium Stampede, no different. What I like about this is that, we can use this idea, the Stadium Stampede match going forward, they can each be a little bit different. And that's okay. The match is supposed to be so weird that it kind of works.
Yeah. For me, I thought the first one was better.
Mm-hmm.
But I still liked it. But no, I just thought the first one had bigger spots, a bit more humor. I mean, this one, there was no Witch Jericho. He didn't pick up a pylon.
There was no. I was waiting for something like that. I was waiting for something like that to happen. I was also hoping that Trevor Lawrence would have shown up in somewhere in the Jericho MJF stuff. I thought that would have gotten a huge pop. If while they were fighting through the backstage rooms, Trevor Lawrence just watching TV or something, that would have been a huge moment.
Yeah.
But I think the bigger moment of everything was the ending of the match. Inner Circle's going to win. This was going to be the main event. You know how the show ended? The show ended with Five Guys giving the middle fingers as 5,500 people sang Judas at full volume. This was the happiest moment in professional wrestling in the past year. Of course, the baby faces went over. Sami Zayn had the ring to himself at the end there, and he gets the pin. This is, if we've been waiting for the full Sammy Guevara babyface turn. I almost had Sami Zayn there. I mean, we've been waiting for Sami Zayn, but don't get me started about that. This is a huge moment for Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, he was the one that forfeited in the first match, so he makes up for it here.
Makes up for it here, and having MJF and Jericho, they took up most of the time. Their rivalry is really the part we care about. I don't think, the Wardlow Hager rivalry doesn't run too deep. Or, of course, Santana Ortiz, they'll continue to take on FTR in a tag capacity. But Inner Circle versus Pinnacle, it's done now. But it might drag on.
It might. We don't know. But yeah, great closing images there. Everyone's singing along. The crowd's happy. Jericho. Yeah, they cut the music out and just let the crowd sing it at the end too. Great.
Yeah, they always cut out the second half of the chorus. So the the music is kind of going and they cut off just so you can get the Judas. And there's still people there. I hate when they pan to the crowd and I mean, not many people were. You didn't have to wear a mask if you were there and you were fully vaccinated. I hate it when people they cut to the crowd and they're not singing Judas. Like if you have to know one AEW theme song, pick that one. I don't know if there are people out there learning the all of the words in Kenny Omega's theme. I'm sure people know it, but they're not cutting to the crowd during Best Bout Machine or something like that. I don't know. Learn the fucking words to Judas.
Maybe they're just, shy in public. They don't like speaking, standing, singing in front of people.
They don't like expressing themselves in the public.
Yeah, I mean, some people are weird like that.
But that was it. That was all of Double or Nothing until we get All Out in September. And then they announced Full Gear November 6th. In somewhere that's not Canada, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Maybe 2022, baby. We're getting a pay-per-view. Of course, they could sell out Skydome if they wanted to. It would be so hot. But that was the show. What an incredible pay-per-view that was. I'm that may be slipping in there amongst my tops of all time. The crowd, quality of matches, the payoffs, everything. We're going to be talking about this one for a long time.
Yeah. No, I think an improvement over Revolution this year.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple problems with Revolution, and obviously the crowd plays a big part. But overall, nearly every match delivered. Little bit of a lull in the middle there, but that's what happens when it's a stacked card.
The Cody lull. We're gonna start calling it a little Cody lull, which is okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Whatever. He still had one of the best matches ever against Dustin, so I'll forgive him.
Amen to that. Mike, should we take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
We'll come back with our kind of like weekly action. Of course, a 4-hour pay-per-view. It's gonna, we're going to be talking about it. And of course, with the Releasening. So it was a big first half of the show, but we'll come back in the second half with kind of our weekly to-dos. How does that sound?
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. Maybe sum some things up.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Okay, folks, stick around. We'll be right back.
Let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah.
Back here with part 2 of the podcast here, folks. God, our the weekly action begins because everything you just heard, that's all in the past now. That's pay-per-views are all done with. Nobody gives a shit about any of that stuff anymore. We're not all reeling from possibly one of the best pay-per-views of the last memorable future. Past. Days of futures past. X-Men. Yeah. Watched that one the other day. They jump over the timeline way too much. I've been watching too much.
Which one? When year did that one come out?
That was the 2014 one. That was the one where it had...
Is that the one with the child predator director?
Well, half of them had that guy.
I know. I don't know where the line stops and begins.
I think he was also on that one. But that was the one where they combined like the old X-Men that we remember from like the 2000s with the First Class, like the Reborn, like the Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence group.
Yeah.
And then they came
Hugh
together.
Jackman with Hugh Lawrence.
Hugh Lawrence. I've been watching too much kind of like timeline bending type things lately. I'm just my mind is all over timelines and alternate universes or in a world where this happened instead of that. My mind's just...
So the Mandela effect.
Is that what it's called?
No, that's just a part of it where all these... I don't know.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm right in the middle of that part. So
multiple timelines existing at once.
Exactly.
With many, some could have small differences, big differences. Some as small as a lyric change in a song you knew.
Yeah. 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 There's a universe where Bruno Mars has a song called 24 Karat Anus.
Yeah.
Where he's talking about a 24 karat anus in the air. It's like everything's the exact same as this Earth. We all breathe oxygen. Trump was still president, but the song was called 24 karat anus. So,
a lot of people didn't like X-Men 3, but I liked it.
Yeah, I remember that
Just to
being.
bring back.
Yeah, 3's. I remember being like, the one that people didn't like out of the mall.
They killed everyone off. I'm like, yeah, that's the way it goes.
And then
Sometimes
that's
just
why
die.
they had to First Class kind of go in the past, and then.
Yeah, I just remember being. I liked it because I was shocked.
You were shocked that people.
Yeah, I want to be. I want to gasp when I leave the theater. I don't want to clap.
I want an audible gasp when I leave.
It was like everyone
theaters.
died. Magneto lost his powers. Beast was the hero. Everything.
Kelsey Grammer was the hero. Frasier was the
Perfectly
hero.
casted.
God
He was
damn
the
it.
perfect as the Beast
Yeah, no, he really was.
in a forgettable movie.
In a forgettable movie. Because movies are all over the place. Not only movies. I haven't seen a movie in theaters in a long time, but there are a lot of movies on Netflix.
Yeah. What about your new Fast movie with John Cena?
Cannot wait. John Cena's gonna have a big year in my life kind of coming up. The Fast and Furious movie, followed by his role in the James Gunn Suicide Squad, and then the subsequent season of his offshoot Peacemaker show, which did just get renewed for a second season, by the way.
Before it's even come out.
Before it's even come out, the John Cena train choo-choo has left the station. John Cena's the latest, one of the latest kind of the Hollywood transition type people that that directors just love working with. Is an all-around nice guy, and that's big. But you know what? What are you going to say?
Just don't call Taiwan a country.
Yeah, just don't say anything about any country, and you'll be fine.
You'll have to apologize.
You'll be
apologize to China.
fine. Which, actually, we're talking about film stars. We're talking about professional wrestlers. This is a perfect segue into this week's Tweet of the Week champion. It's the Tweet of the Week. It's the Tweet of the Week. Audible clap. It was just that easy.
It was more of a smack, a slap to the face.
We got there so easily. I was just waiting for the perfect little moment to kind of, stick my stinger into, of course. No, we're not talking Sting. We are talking, of course. There's a new movie come out just on Netflix. The newest Zack Snyder picture. And no, we're not talking about the Justice League. We were talking about an original story, Army of the Dead. Just came out there on Netflix, and starring none other than a man that you may know him as just Batista. But this is Hollywood. This is Dave Batista. With a whole different spelling. It took way longer for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to be dropped until he was now just Dwayne Johnson. No, Batista's 3 movies in, and we're already getting a name change. Huge spoiler. Anyways, Netflix reaches out to their, they're posting all over their social medias. Army of the Dead. Watch it. This, that, the other. Our boy Batista jumps on to Twitter, where he responds to their Netflix's post by saying, "Fans, just before you even ask, this is the Snyder's Cut." At 2 hours and 28 minutes, too. It's not even that long of a movie. And let me tell you, it's a lot of fun. Mike, if you like action, if you like silly, kind of over the top, but feeling serious, it's kind of funny in a lot of spots. Zack Snyder gets great shots. Mm-hmm. And he always has, Mike. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you watch Army of the Dead there on Netflix. And to our brand new Tweet of the Week champion, Batista, 2-time winner. Of course, he held the belt alongside Dana Brooke when they had a particularly saucy exchange a couple of years ago. If maybe you can recall that. He was actually one of the first Tweet of the Week champions, but has now kind of made himself back into the scene. So you love seeing it. And watch Army of the Dead. It was pretty damn good.
Yeah, I think I'll check it out. Seems like a fun movie.
It's fun. Get yourself some Jiffy Pop or whatever your
That's
favorite.
too much work. The one on the stove?
Or fine, do it yourself. Grab a pan, grab some oil, some butter, some.
That's so much work. I just microwave it.
Beep. Or do that.
And then you can still melt the butter after if you want. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. However you choose to enjoy popcorn, that's up to you, baby. Just
Have
enjoy
you ever
it.
had like the actual Jiffy Pop where you buy it in like the pre-made thing?
I don't think Jiffy Pop branded. We have done the like not recently. I don't really eat popcorn very
the
much.
Foil pops and it's like contained in the little
Yeah,
foil
I know
thing.
what it is. I remember a couple times in university doing the just kind of in the frying pan because we read about it online or something. You're like, does it work? And it fucking works. And then I think at one point I lived in a house that we had the maker. So you'd put the kernels in there yourself.
I like those as a kid. It's so easy. Just
Oh yeah, and then you would just we'd kind of
start popping.
They just start popping.
And then if you took the lid off, it's chaos.
It's all over the place. You're cleaning up for weeks after that, But you get this freshly popped popcorn. Put some olive oil on it, some salt, some pepper, maybe some garlic powder. Oh my god!
I remember one time when I was little, I was using the popcorn popper and I was making it. I think I was in my pajamas. I didn't have a shirt on. And in the middle of it all, an uncooked seed comes flying out at super hot temperature, hits me right in the bare nipple.
right in the nip.
I was like, ow, my nipple! I was a little boy, and it hurt. I mean, it was funny, though. Funny little childhood.
Funny little childhood. Well, that's great, Mike. Great popcorn stories there.
Yeah, where were we talking about Tweet of the Week?
We were talking about Tweet of the Week. It's Dave Bautista. Check him out in probably another movie coming out soon. I think he's in the Dune movie whenever that one comes out.
Dune?
Yeah, they remade Dune.
Is that like
Never see the old
Monsters
one?
in the Ground or something?
There is a big monster worm creature in the ground, but there's
What's that other?
That's not the bad guy. There's like a whole kind of government type, story. The original's on Netflix there. It's Kyle Chandler. No, not Kyle Chandler. The guy, who's the guy from Twin Peaks?
The guy who plays like Agent Cooper?
Yeah.
Kyle MacLachlan?
Kyle MacLachlan. That's who it is. Kyle MacLachlan is the lead in that one.
Yeah.
Sting is also in it, actually. It all comes around. It all comes around. I think Batista is the new Sting, actually, when I think about who the characters are, which might be funny. It all comes back around to professional wrestling. And God damn it, Mike, this is a professional wrestling show, and I won't hear another word of anything else that doesn't have to do with professional wrestling. So let's move on. Let's move ahead with the show here, shall we? Because I think before we go forward in time, we do have to go back in time. Because although we did have our big AEW pay-per-view on Sunday, that completely overshadowed everything on the Blue brand. So let's just chat a little about SmackDown Live. Okay, folks, it's Friday night. It's time for SmackDown Live. It used to be on Tuesday, but then I think it was on Friday before, though. No, wait, we used to film it on a Thursday and then release it. It's just SmackDown Live.
Yeah, I guess, the big stuff. The Usos officially reunite back in the ring, having a nice match against the Street Profits there. Mm-hmm. They get the win, so good to see them back. And I guess the other, we just mentioned it in the beginning, Ruby Riott gets released, but here she was wrestling mere 5 days ago, whatever it was, in a tag match.
Life happens fast. If you don't stop to look around a while, you might miss it.
Yeah. I guess my favorite moment of the show came when Bianca Belair was facing Carmella. Carmella gets the win, and Michael Cole calls her Belanca. And then Bayley just says, Belanca, Michael Cole, you stupid idiot.
I missed that.
I'm just wondering, at this point now, Michael Cole has botched the ending of like 3 Bianca Belair matches.
You just said it right there.
I know, he's fucking me up. He's fucking me up, and he's fucking up with my girl Bianca, so Michael Cole.
Yeah, Bianca Belair is, like, how many times... How fast can you say Bianca Belair? Eventually you're gonna be stumbling, and of course, with all the releasenings, with Adnan Virk moving on, with some new bald guy on SmackDown, Tom Phillips' job isn't even safe. Michael Cole's thinking, "Fuck, they're coming for me next." So he's stumbling around a little bit back there.
Yeah, we also had. I guess he's part of the roster now. Rick Boogs was here once again.
Ricky Boogs, one of my favorite guitar players. If you need a guy to just, hold a guitar and look good. This guy's got it down. Marshall stacks on either side of the fucking entrance ramp too.
He looks good, but I thought the guitar playing didn't sound as good this week. A little sloppy.
A little sloppy, you know. And we're still about a month away from the live crowd shows. You know, there's a lot of things actually. It'll be interesting to see how they do translate themselves to going live. You know, it's something that none of these performers have done in a year. So that, you know, there's kind of going to be a little bit of an adjustment for everybody involved. And who knows? Who knows if Rick Boogs will be playing his electric guitar this time next month?
Yeah, but either way, he was there for Nakamura and Chad Gable. Just, I guess Corbin was there as well. They're still fighting over this crown. We're all just hoping it leads to King of the Ring. At least I don't know. Do something. Do it.
Yeah, just do something.
Yeah. Anyways, the main event of the show was Dominic. Or I guess it was supposed to be the Mysterios defending their tag titles against the Dirty Dogs. But backstage, Rey Mysterio gets beaten up beforehand. So now it's the opposite of the pay-per-view. Instead of Rey going alone, Dominic decides it's my turn to go alone. So 2-on-1, he's defending the titles, putting up a good fight. He lasts just long enough for his dad, Rey, to come out. And, causes a distraction. Dominic rolls up, Rude gets a 3 count to retain the titles.
Yeah, to retain, you know, in that quick little roll up. But really, for me, this kind of capped off what was felt like just kind of like a lackluster SmackDown, like a real lackluster episode of SmackDown. There's kind of been this little string lately where SmackDown maybe hasn't quite popped the way we want it to. Certainly, Usos coming back makes the tag division more fun.
Yeah, they did come down at the end of the show face to face. I think they're going to fight them next week.
You know, but again, Bianca Belair doesn't really have a solid competitor, you know, to kind of take on. Bayley is in the wings kind of again.
Sasha's MIA.
Sasha continues to be MIA. She and Edge is MIA. The two of them are listed for a live show in July. Like, they're on the promotional posters for, you know, you go to the website to buy the tickets. Their photos are on that poster, so we're still kind of, you know, whether or not that happens before that or not wasn't the case, and also nothing to do with the IC title.
Yeah, nothing this week.
And what's weird about where we are with the Intercontinental Championship right now is that there's so many people involved in it that the belt not being on television is like a big deal, because, you know, I mean, the past few weeks, or at least since Mania, it's been Cruz, Big E, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, the man formerly known as Aleister Black. And like, that's a lot of people to occupy a scene, which is fine, but then if we don't see any of them, it feels like there's a huge hole left here on SmackDown.
Yeah, no, and we were talking about Bianca Belair needs some challengers, and why would you let go of Ruby Riott? You could have had her fill in for a couple weeks.
But, you know, and Tamina and Natalya need challenge. They need a name, and they also need challengers.
Yeah, exactly. You just broke up your only other tag team on SmackDown in the women's division.
Bizarre.
Which is no surprise. Yeah, the Iconics are gone, and I don't know, this whole thing's... Anyways, that was SmackDown, most of the important stuff. So... let's just jump over to Raw, I guess.
Let's get raw. Let's get
raw. God, you say it with such not wanting
I guess
to
we
do
have
it.
to.
Well, Mike, you know what? And I'm just surprised. You know, you kind of mentioned earlier on the show regarding several releasings, rumors of, you know, portions of the company being sold. I wouldn't want to buy. I mean, would you want to buy this? Would you want to buy the last, maybe even like month, maybe?
Well, I don't think anyone really cares about. They just care about raw numbers.
Oh, right. It's just about numbers.
They don't watch the product. They don't know anything. They don't know who AJ Styles is.
Right. They should, though.
They should.
He's the phenomenal one.
Tony Khan knows his shit.
Tony Khan knows who he is. Yeah. He knows that Raw is not getting the deal with New Japan. He said there's only room for one con in this business.
Wow, that was just a funny little promo.
That was one of that might be promo of the year as far as I'm concerned.
Hey.
But let's get to this Monday Night Raw episode. We have a nice memorial. It's Memorial Day down there in the States.
Nice little holiday for y'all Yankees.
For y'all Yankees. And of course, as soon as we kick live to the Thunderdome, Ms. Mo are here to kick off with another episode of Ms. TV.
Yeah, and we are introduced to our new member of the commentary team, Jimmy Smith. Of course, replacing Mr. Verk.
Jimmy Smith from...
He's from something, some sports. He's got sports experience, but no, he fit in pretty well here. He definitely knew a lot more of the moves and stuff. And
felt like it. It felt like a little more.
He fit in.
He fit in a little more than Verk.
Yeah, I didn't notice him in any bad ways. So whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, Miz TV. Miz is the first time we've seen him since the zombie attack, so he's live. But he did have, you couldn't see it, but it was under his pant leg. He was wearing a knee brace, kind of limping, when Charlotte made him stand up.
Yeah, it was a weird call to make him come back, but either way, like you said, yeah, Charlotte. They invited Charlotte out to the ring, and of course, Rhea Ripley, also, who immediately start just trading insults.
Yeah, go to hell. No, you go to hell.
No, you go to hell. No, I was there already. No, I have stretchers.
I'll bring you. Yeah.
Something like that.
So they try to calm things down, and then Nikki Cross comes out and says, well, since I beat the champion last week, it's only fair that I face the winner of you two. Ripley says, nah, you only beat the clock. You didn't beat me, but, you still earned my respect. And then Nikki says, yeah, I can beat you, Charlotte. So, I don't know. We're getting another beat the clock.
Another beat the clock challenge, from which I can understand, is less so much how much offense you can provide, but it's how much defense you can provide for a period of time.
Yeah, especially this time around. So 2 minutes, once again, Nikki and Charlotte. Nikki just kind of runs around outside the ring, just kind of kill time. They get back, fight for a little bit. Charlotte goes for the figure four, but clock runs out. So Nikki Cross, she wins by the rules of the match, I guess. But, I wouldn't say she beat Charlotte.
Yeah, then Ripley just kind of sat there ringside, just like, bravo. Bravo. The resurgence of Nikki Cross, I think, is great for a lot of fans who've missed her since the Bliss Cross days. But throwing her into it's weird. It's like she's thrown to the middle of the title feud, but is playing her role in a way that's much better when they bring people in all the time to kind of do shit like this, like a Reginald type. And you're like, you're not actually going to do anything for the fans.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to see Nikki Cross maybe find out that she can hang out here with the best. My highlight of the whole segment was the Miz, who had he was wearing a garlic necklace. Of course, to ward off the vampires, which I guess are kind of like zombies. That was a fun little note. That was a fun little side note for me. But other than that, nothing.
Yeah, no, it's weird. Like Nikki Cross, she hasn't lost in these 2 weeks, but doesn't feel like she's won anything just by beating the clock. So I don't know. I'm happy she's back. Even.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, like we just said.
But anyways, we go backstage. Randy Orton is talking to Matt Riddle about, stealing his finisher last week, the RKO. And I just noticed, I don't know if he's had it for a little while, but Randy Orton's facial hair, how long has he had this?
I am so glad you brought this up. Mike, this was the premiere of the Randy, or what I would like to call Randy Orton. Just a little bit of maybe like a French explorer type of thing. I can picture him with the hat with the big the big feather on it, looking like he's one of the Three Musketeers.
I think he's got a Mike the Shoot Shepherd look to it. It's pretty much the same that I have.
Same look. We know they're listening to the show. We already know it.
You shave between the lip and the chin. You got to separate that. No goatees here. And it instantly gives you a European vibe.
It's a good look. It's a good look on the Rand Man, and Randy Orton can pull out any look new, not address it, but he knows here on the podcast we're going to address it.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, he's had beard and cheek hair before, but that's the first time I've ever seen lip hair on Randy Orton. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like kind of like something that's chunked off from the rest.
Yeah, like
of
an actual mustache.
Yeah.
But anyways, Randy's here to talk. He says he was impressed with Riddle last week against that awesome match with Xavier. And, if we're going to do this tag team thing, let's do it. So how about you come down and watch my match later at ringside? Oh.
Okay.
It's making moves here. Making moves. But that match is right now, so we're not going to have to wait. Xavier Woods versus Randy Orton. Randy's coming out aggressive, beating Xavier all around. But he fights back, gets a couple good moves in. But eventually Orton picks up Xavier and he hits the Bro Derek to get the win. So Riddle is super pumped about that. He jumps in the ring. He's got his scooter. He's celebrating it. Looks like Randy Orton, man. He's really got a thing for this kid. He's liking him. It's a good team.
I like this little one-upsmanship that they have going back and forth, constantly, having to one-up the other one, and feuding with the New Day is a fun feud because we're on the fence right now where we don't know if Matt Riddle and Randy Orton could go either way. They could either go babyface or heel, but the New Day are just gonna have great workers. Shout out to Xavier Woods, who had another long singles match on TV that was also very good.
Yeah, back-to-back weeks. Maybe this is a little test run for him. Get yourself into a U.S. title type of deal or something. Who knows?
Exactly, and which is fantastic. It's great to see the real life pairing of Randy Orton and Matt Riddle smoking weed on a deck somewhere. Everyone's had a idea, right? Where you and your buddy have been smoking a little too much, and you think of something that would be an incredible idea. Sometimes, they probably get put into effect, and who knows? Major organizations may have been formed that way. Or sometimes they're just tag teams. Like, hey, man, I got an idea. What if you and I do this?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been going well. But not everything can go well.
No.
So let's go to Shayna Baszler taking on Reginald with his little suit shorts. I don't know.
It's like a fancy short.
Yeah, he's still got kind of like the jacket going on the top.
Like a short, like a shorts that you would wear to like a summer wedding on the beach.
Yeah. And, they get some extra mobility, so he's flipping all over the place, but he actually does get physical with Baszler. Puts his hands on her, gives her a scoop slam. So this enrages Shayna, and she just starts targeting Reggie's leg, and but he fights back, hits a big spinning crossbody, goes for a moonsault, but Baszler avoids it, and then she puts him in the Kirifuda clutch, but they're near the corner, and then Pyro just shoots up. Big fireball. That stops her, and Reggie takes advantage with the roll-up and gets the 3 count on Shayna.
Oh, no. Shayna Baszler in the comedy match. Never thought you'd see the day, right? Coming out of NXT, one of, the most brutal, ferocious, hard-hitting women coming out of the strongest division. I wouldn't think she would be in a comedy match. No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been saying this for a long time now, but at the very least, I hope it's leading to a breakup of Shayna and Nia.
It's either going to do two things. It's either going to lead to their breakup, or lead to their breakup, and then we have matches until Survivor Series about it. So it could really go two ways. Yeah. It could really go either way at this much. But yeah, poor Shayna. First, she's getting fucking distracted by a doll. And now she's, getting rolled up by a joke wrestler. It's too bad.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of too bad, we got Mason T-Bar.
Forgot they existed.
Yeah, exactly. Taking on the Lucha House Party. Mason T-Bar, we've already said it. They're here. They toss the little guys around. They hit a double choke slam. They get the win. So what does it mean?
Well, it means that... Okay, so I'll tell you what it means. It means that a member of the Lucha House Party, well, I think it was Dorado, had his shoulders down on the mat, and then the referee, he was covered by a member, either Mace or T-Bar, and then the ref went. That's what it means. That's how the win happens.
Yeah.
Other than that, whatever happened to the Viking men?
I think we saw them at backstage for like a second, but
it's weird because they were on that one show where we were also like, whoa, way too many tag teams. And then both Mace, T-Bar, Viking, then they left for now a month. And we're like, wait, what happened to all those tag teams? I think it was also the same night where Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander were still teaming up together. We're like, Jesus Christ, too much fire in the oven. And there should never be a fire in an oven. Your turkey's burnt.
I mean, yeah. Not a traditional home oven. Maybe like a pizza stone baked oven.
Well, either way, you don't want the pizza on fire.
No, I do like it crispy though.
A crispy, yeah, definitely.
Well done.
If there's an option to order the pizza well done, always ask for that little.
Yeah, you don't want to. Some pizza you pick it up, it's sliding off. You're like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, what is this? What is this? What is
Pizza?
I was gonna say, what was that place called? Tito's. What is this? Tito's.
Tito? Oh, don't disrespect Tito.
No disrespect. It was the floppiest slice around. That's what made
it was huge. It was so big.
Exactly.
Though.
That's why you were able to. It was so malleable. You were able to kind of maneuver the slice around your jaw.
Oh, rest in peace, Tito's.
R.I.P. I know.
I don't even
use promo code Shoot Brothers for 15% off the Love Shop, which expanded its way.
It's taken over that whole plaza.
It really has. Yeah, that's now like the sex plaza, and then also on the other half is the gym. It's like the sex gym plaza.
Like old people come out of the gym like,
Very weird. What a weird.
It's an old people gym. It's not like a name brand.
Yeah, it's what is it?
Persicini.
Yeah,
it's not Fit for Life. It's not Fit City.
Yeah,
it doesn't have Fit in the name anyway.
It's not LA Fitness. It's not that big one. Yeah, it's Persicini.
Yeah,
love it.
Sheamus comes out for some open challenges, but I'm getting kind of sick of this because he hasn't defended his title once since winning it. He
it just comes out an open challenge and then actually having your title.
He's like, actually, it's not for the belt. Okay. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Sheamus. But anyways, he's taking on Ricochet once again here. And during the match, Humberto Carrillo comes out, distracts Sheamus. You know what that means. We got a roll up. Like a grade 3, like a luncheon grade 3 with a nice roll up. We got it.
Nice fruit roll up. We're punching out our little candies, our little.
Do you fruit roll up or fruit by the foot? What would you prefer?
It was always fruit by the foot.
Just because of the distance?
Yeah.
Or did you like the flavor better?
No, I think I'm all length. I'm length over girth because with a fruit roll up.
Roll-up, I love the flavor of the roll-up.
So the roll-up was thicker and had more flavor, but I felt like it was gone real soon. Because
it was.
Exactly.
Well, you could ball it up and have it in one bite.
I mean, you could. I feel like the fruit by the foot, though, you sort of take like a little bit. You're eating it in these little like 3-inch chunks.
You could wear it around like a lizard tongue, just walk around.
And then you got to wear it around like a lizard tongue for a second. And then you're constantly peeling off that parchment paper as you go. Or you you don't peel it, and then you have like this whole thing. It looks like a skin. It looks like a skin, like a snake's skin.
Yeah, the fruit roll-up pizza version, that was the best. You punch out the pizza, you punch out the toppings,
and you put the toppings on top.
Good Lord, yeah, all that work just to eat it.
All just to eat layers of sugar.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I haven't had those in decades.
No.
Fun times. Those were nutritious lunch.
Yeah. The fruit by the foot, and then the remember the sliced fruit in the sugar water. That's really just kind of more sugar.
It's just tons of sugar.
Just sugar. It's pretty much just it's like honey, and you ate it was just whole honey.
Yep. But anyways, so Sheamus is mad about losing to Ricochet, so he'll take on Humberto Carrillo. And during the match, Carrillo just nails Sheamus in the face with a stiff elbow strike right to the bridge of the nose, which allegedly broke it. A legit broken nose.
Did some damage. I saw a photo afterwards. Big old, like that kind of like blood pool area in your eye, too. Yeah.
And a little crooked face. Yeah, no, a shoot broken nose here. He was dripping blood a bit. Sheamus fights back, though, but once again gets distracted by Ricochet on the outside. So Carrillo hits him with a springboard dropkick, rolls Sheamus up for a 3 count. So back-to-back losses.
Yikes. Poor Shamey. Poor Shamey. You know, maybe this will mean some kind of triple threat type thing. It does seem like Ricochet and Humberto Carrillo are teaming up, though. It does seem like they're kind of together in this. Ricochet with his pants. Yeah, so U.S. title, what's our next pay-per-view here? We have Hell in a Cell coming up
a couple weeks.
June, yeah, the 16th, I think it is, maybe. So, yeah, this belt will need to be on the card. Maybe have these 3, 2 little guys, 1 big guy. Who the heck knows what'll happen?
Yeah, that could be fun. We get a short women's tag match, which I guess is the final appearance for our favorite Russian, Lana. Mm-hmm. Teaming up with Naomi here to take on Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. Mandy and Dana hit the blockbuster Samoan drop, get the win. Selena, Lana, goodbye forever.
As we go on. Yeah, that was too bad.
Too bad.
Too bad it was a loss, It's also kind of too bad that she did never get that full retribution over Nia Jax, or at least I don't think she did.
Yeah, she had little moments. She won Survivor Series, but I wanted a title.
Exactly. She had a couple little moments. It would have been nice to see her really get that one over Nia. Never quite did.
Yeah, but let's bring you on over.
And poor Naomi. This was the most exposure Naomi's had since coming back. Also, now Naomi doesn't have a tag partner. Does she go off doing singles? Does she latch herself onto another woman in distress? Who knows?
Who knows? But 2 men here that survived the releasening. They could have both been easy culprits here. Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander. Just more of the same. Cedric pokes him in the eye, hits the neuralizer, gets the win.
Yeah, I'd give this an good old D- if I had to, if I was scoring.
They just made it. Just passed.
Just passed.
But nothing to show your parents.
No, this one's not making it onto the fridge.
No, you had a good professor. You had a 48. He rounded you up.
Yeah, because teachers, if somebody has a 48, round it up to a 52.
Yeah, don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole about it. Come on.
Tag team championships on the line here. AJ Styles and Omos defending against Elias and Jackson Riker, who unfortunately survived the releasening. How does Riker keep slipping through?
Riker keeps slipping through these cracks here. Yeah. I don't know how this keeps happening. Yeah, didn't they fire the other? They released the other. What was the other guy's name?
Yeah, the Wesley Blake.
Wesley Blake. It was like, if the headline was like member of whatever the fuck they were called released, you'd be like, yeah. Riker. Nope, it's the other guy.
Oh well. So they isolate AJ. They beat him up. But then Riker goes for the tag, and Elias just pulls back, jumps off the apron, abandons him. So Riker's pissed. AJ tags in Omos. Omos beats the shit out of him. Tags back AJ, who hits the phenomenal forearm to get the win, retain the titles.
I don't know what's worse here. So this was by far the match of the night so far. And it involved Riker. I know.
Yeah. That's
so this is bad. This is bad for 2 reasons.
I mean, Woods and Randy.
Yes. This was bad for 2 reasons. Mike, this is why this one's tough with me. One, it means that if Elias and Riker are splitting up, that means we're going to get a few weeks of matches. 2 is the way they made it happen. It feels like Riker's turning babyface.
That's not a good idea.
And that's almost even worse.
Yeah.
That's so bad. We're returning to live audiences and in a month and a bit now. And by then, there's a chance that Jackson Riker could be a full-on babyface. Ay, right? Ay. Is Vince doing all this crazy shit just to sell and then like, you fix it?
Just like, now you deal with it. Yeah.
That's his ultimate prank on the wrestling world. And then 90 days later, he shows up on an episode of Dynamite. I think that's the way it has to go. I'm booking it right now. The shoot meter's going off. Vince is going to screw up WWE, sell it, and then show up on Dynamite. Just wait.
And then he'll buy it back when it burns to the ground.
Yeah, he buys it back for way less. Because it's all about that video library, right?
Yeah. We go to your favorite segment, Alexa's Playground, and her special guest, Reginald. But, he sits down on the swing, but Shayna Baszler shows up, beats him down, and she takes her spot on the swing. And Alexa Bliss just says, sorry, you weren't invited. Lily doesn't like you. But Baszler says, I think you and I need to have a chat. See you next week. And then she gets right in Lily's face and says, you're just a stupid doll. But you shouldn't do that. I mean, we've all seen Toy Story. Dolls can get vengeance.
we've all seen Toy Story. Clearly, Shayna Baszler's not seen Toy Story.
That kid Sid, man, he was a bad kid.
Yeah. More of the playground stuff. Let's make something happen with it.
I just want to see her fight. God damn it.
Yeah,
fight.
But is it just going to be the Fiend Part 2? Because in that case, I don't want to see that.
Speaking of the Fiend, he's long missing as well.
Fiend is long missing.
Long missing. Oh, well, let's get to the main event here. Kofi Kingston taking on Drew McIntyre, with the winner earning themselves a title shot against Bobby Lashley at the Hell in a Cell. Possibly in the Hell in a Cell. I don't know. I mean,
main events usually happen in cells.
Yeah, probably. So we get a good match here, back and forth. Drew hits he hits his Future Shock DDT, but he does a big swinging version, which I don't think I've seen him do that in WWE.
Big ol' spike for a close two there.
That was cool. He goes for the Claymore, but Kofi hits Trouble in Paradise. Goes for the cover, but Drew gets just a hand on the rope. So Kofi goes to follow up, jumping off the top rope, but Drew hits him midair with the Claymore. Gets the win, and earns another title shot. Which, I mean, come on. We've had enough of that.
He keeps earning them, but he's got to start winning them.
Yeah, I mean, you and Lashley, we've done it 3 times now, 4 times. I don't know. I've had enough.
I mean, the match was great.
It was fine, but whatever, do it.
Yeah.
Just get it over with.
No, this main event title scene seems weird. Is Hell in a Cell going to be in front of people? Do we know that?
No, it's going to be the last pay-per-view before.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Money in the Bank will be the first pay-per-view.
Money in the Bank will be the first. Okay. Sunday, June 20th. Yeah, so in a little over a month now. And we've already booked, not a little over a month, sorry, 3 weeks now. We have 2 matches booked already, right? Charlotte and whatever her name is, Rhea. And now these 2. So,
yeah,
we're getting there.
Yeah, we'll figure out more as the weeks come and go. But let's move over to our last show of the week. I mean, this week. I don't know. Well, Dynamite's not till Friday because things are crazy.
Yeah, Dynamite's not till Friday because playoffs. So let's conclude ourselves on Monday Night Raw and talk about something with more pressing matters, because In Your House is coming up in 2 weeks now. We got to get there. Week and a half maybe by this point. So let's start chatting about some NXT.
NXT, what does it mean? I don't know, but it's good wrestling. So NXT, watch and see. Gotta tap out a count out of 1, 2, 3.
In Your House, white picket fence.
Yeah,
they've got that little
front window.
Big front window. The mailbox with the little thing that goes up and down, indicating
mail's here.
If mail's here. Mm-hmm. So this show has important things to talk about, such as what's going to happen in this main event, or rather for the NXT Championship. Of course, Finn Balor was beaten last week. Karrion Kross is the champ, so we need to move on a little bit.
Yes, no time to fuck around. Let's just get right into things. They start off the show with the match to determine that very thing.
Now, was this promoted last week? I don't remember this happening at all. I just kind of turned on and was like, "Oh shit!"
I remember them announcing.
Okay,
the match
I must have missed it. Yeah, huge! What a huge match to kick off the show.
Yeah. So you got Pete Dunne, Johnny Gargano, Kyle O'Reilly, triple threat match. Winner gets that title shot at In Your House against Karrion Kross. So hot match to start the show. Good mesh of styles here. All three men just, a little bit of everything. Hard fought, back and forth, until eventually Adam Cole comes out and just nails all three guys with a chair, interrupting everything. So William Regal storms out, and he's got the whole team of security with him. They have Adam Cole escorted out of the building. And that was kind of it. The match is ruined. There was no DQ, there are no DQs in a triple threat, so...
I know, what a mean guy. What a mean guy that was. Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly, Gargano. We know it's all going to be good.
Yeah. But, there really was no reason to not just finish the match. It was weird. So.
Yeah, which was a unique choice, I would have said, especially since Adam Cole's been out of action. It's funny, he's been out of action or out of the NXT Championship scene for a while, but he always comes back and feels like he's entitled for it. But either way, felt like things were going to become a little more complicated.
Yeah, but we'll surely have some resolution on that. But before, Ember Moon just appears in the ring, and she's calling out Raquel Gonzalez. So she comes out, gets in there, and Ember unloads on her. So William Regal just has to come right back out with the security once again.
Big night for Regal.
Yeah, he was looking not happy, having a bad night already. And after all this, Dakota Kai jumps Ember from behind, beats her down. So this show was off the rails. But then we get LA Knight coming out to take on Jake Atlas. And he's just showboating in the middle of the match. Ted DiBiase comes out to watch from the ramp.
Of course, so they're best friends now.
Well, he's scouting him. He's trying to impress DiBiase.
And wouldn't you want to?
Maybe. Cameron Grimes does. He comes out.
Yeehaw!
He's talking to Ted on the ramp there, and Atlas in the ring makes his comeback. He hits the cartwheel DDT, gets the big upset win. So LA Knight shook. Cameron Grimes just laughs from the ramp, and Ted DiBiase, he's disgusted. He just shakes his head at Knight and walks off.
Could just walk off, who knows? Is he still scouting somebody to inherit the $1 million legacy? That's what it is. Maybe Cameron Grimes just has to work his way up there. He's not just going to give it to him. He's got to fight like the baby face he needs to be.
Yeah. Well, they did announce that, Grimes versus Knight on the TakeOver. And I'm hoping that's the time when either before or after the match, DiBiase comes out and just presents the belt to the winner.
Yeah, I think a big match. I don't know if Cameron Grimes has had many singles matches on the TakeOver shows.
Not that I can remember. Maybe like one North American title, maybe.
Yeah, maybe he was involved in something like that. I know he was in a ladder match at the last pay-per-view or whatever. But yeah, it'll be great to see a guy like him and LA Knight. Show us what you got, kid.
Show us.
Show me what you got.
Well, something we're going to see next week is the big return. Poppy is coming to NXT.
Poppy Live.
Yeah, and they hyped this up a couple times throughout the match.
I know. She might be getting ready to give out a destroyer. I don't know.
She might be Bad Bunny type of deal here, which they referenced. But yes, a lot has happened in the few months between the last time we saw Poppy. And I've become a full-on fan.
I'm excited for this. Fan waiting for the world tour. Tickets are on hold.
Whenever she comes to Toronto, I'm going to be there.
You're going to be there.
If and when. But we'll see what she does next week. They teased a little thing. Candice LeRae was like, Poppy, blah, blah. I don't know.
Poppy.
Don't ask me about Poppy. But Adam Cole comes out to cut a passionate promo saying he's the real number one contender. No one can live up to my legacy. He wants a piece of Karrion Kross. So Kross comes out with Scarlett, cuts a promo. Not as good as Adam Cole's, but he's trying. He's trying. I'm giving him credit. But Cole fires back and just says, you're not special. You're just the guy who has my property. But William Regal comes out for the third time.
Oh, my God, Regal.
He says, I know what you're trying to do, Adam. Weasel your way into this match. Yeah, singles match. Not going to work. But Kross just says, hey, Regal, shut up. What I want to take over is everyone. So we're going to have a fatal 5-way match. All 5 men, Kyle O'Reilly, Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, Adam Cole, all taking on Karrion Kross at the same time.
Yeah, it felt a little awkward. I'm going to say this was a classic awkward segment, which keep being the takeaways from these Karrion Kross moments.
Cole was good.
Adam Cole was great. He's one of the best out there. Yeah, I think it just really just kind of feels like they want a booking decision. It would happen quick. They're like, boom, we got 2 weeks to make this happen. And that's why I sort of felt like everything was happening so fast.
This Adam Cole bit definitely feels added. Kind of just.
It was like, oh, shit. Yeah. Let's get there, right?
Yeah.
Because if Karrion Kross is only mad at Adam Cole, it doesn't make any sense to have a fatal 5-way. But these are all 5 guys. I don't know who's going to take the pin in this match. I also don't know who's going to win, but I don't know who's going to take the pin. I mean, these are 5 dudes who are top of the card.
Yeah, hey, it's a good thing. Good thing to not know.
Yeah.
It should be a fun match.
It should be.
We get a little promo from Tian Sha as Xia Li officially challenges Mercedes Martinez to a match at TakeOver. So that's nice to get on the card.
It's gonna be a hard hitting match if nothing else. And NXT pumping out these mid card women's feuds out there.
Yeah, I like it. Then we get a cruiserweight title match. Kushida defending against the debut of Carmelo Hayes here. So big opportunity for this guy.
Big opportunity for old Mello.
Yes.
Never seen him before.
Never seen him. He looked fine. Nice little cruiserweight move set here. But Kushida's on a roll. You're not going to stop him right now. Let's keep the momentum going. He gets the hoverboard lock. For the submission win.
I'm checking it right here. Carmelo Hayes. This was his first match in NXT. Of any kind. So that's super cool to see that. Go down. Yeah, Kushida continues to, carrying this belt, this Cruiserweight Championship the way it should be. Just elevating the title, elevating performances. It just seems like one of those things that there are so many of these great Cruiserweight wrestlers out there in the world. All we need to do is just watch them go once, and it'll be great. For whatever reason, when 205 Live was its own thing, I guess it still is its own thing, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
But, I mean, it's not like exclusively, like you can wrestle on NXT and 205.
Right. It's such a thing like that. But either way, Kushida continues to, really carry NXT lately for me.
Yeah, he's been great. Great run with the title.
Yeah.
There was a brief little backstage moment with Frankie Monet, just kind of getting her makeup done, reading positive reviews about her debut, as little Presley is sitting there looking dapper.
Sitting right there.
So, looking forward to her next match. But we get a quick women's tag match. Zoe Stark and Zeta Ramir teaming up to take on Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. 9-title match. Pretty quick. Mostly just there to get the way an easy victory.
The way, getting a quick dub. Because why the heck not, right?
And I guess earlier in the night Indy was listening to some 80s power ballads on her headphones or something, and then Dexter pops by
and then Dexter was also listening to the headphones for some reason.
So I guess, listening to some love song from I don't know. So they're still doing that.
So that's still happening.
Yeah. But the main event was the tag title match here. MSK taking on Legado del Fantasma. And, the wrestling was fine. All these guys are good in the ring, but they're just not that over. Not as over as other teams in the past here in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
But,
especially teams like tag champions in NXT have been on another level for the past, 3 years now, between guys like the Street Profits and
Undisputed
Era. Of course, we had that little blip where the guys over in NXT UK, I think, were the tag team champions also. Like, this belts meant a lot.
Yeah, so, nothing wrong with the match. They were doing lots of big double team moves. But, speaking of teams that are a bit more over right now, the Grizzled Young Vets come out, and Ciampa and Thatcher come out, and they all start fighting. So, they kind of brawl to the back. The match continues. Escobar's at ringside. He causes a ruckus. So Bronson Reed shows up and just kind of splashes him into the barricade. And then back in the ring, MSK hit the up and over to get the win, retain the titles.
Yeah, out of all these things, like, I'm not sold on Legado del Fantasma yet. Like, in my mind, they should be way better. Or, like, anytime I see them, I picture, like, a stronger Lucha House Party. But then they don't wrestle like that. But they do kind of. I'm like, come on, guys. What's happening here? Yeah, neither of these two teams that have been kind of carrying this post-stand and deliver championship, I don't really, Grizzly Young Vets are way over with me. Of course, the Thatch Ciampa connection, that's huge for me. I'm waiting for them to drop the hammer on that one.
I feel like even a team like Breezango is more like they're not taking it seriously, but they're more established as a like people know them. They're more over.
Yeah, it's weird to take. I feel like these are also two of the newest teams here in NXT. And they're just kind of getting pushed right to the front, where all these teams who have been here for a little while are all underneath. And I think us fans are just like, no, we want the underneath people right now. Yeah. Like, these guys haven't really worked hard enough yet to deserve, I'm sure they're all hard workers, of course. And one of the Lorcan, Birch, whichever one is hurt, is probably, could be coming back soon, too. Mm-hmm. Which one am I thinking of? Who's the hurt one?
I can't remember.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay.
But,
nice the way
not the hottest you would think for a main event here. Main event spot.
Yeah, it really wasn't the hottest of all the matches. I think that match right off the bat was pretty hot. But I gotta say, my biggest takeaway from this was that this was the first episode of NXT I can remember in a long time where it was one short women's tag. There was nothing else.
Yeah,
kind of covering that side, at least with the. With Raquel Gonzalez or something around there, or just even like the tag match itself was it felt short, kind of compared when there were a few other things going on. So I don't know, but either way, just another episode of NXT in your house is 2 weekends from now, not this weekend, the weekend after that.
Yeah, we'll figure out the rest of the matches in the next week or two for the cut.
And, we'll figure out those matches for the card. And, God, I got to say, that is our professional wrestling week. There's only time for one more thing, and that is the Wrestler of the Week.
It's the Wrestler of the Week. Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. Wrestler of the Week. Of the week, of the week, the wrestler of the week.
All right. Yes, I think it's a safe bet to say that it's probably going to be someone from Double or Nothing here. Someone, something, some person, some team. No, just one individual for me. And it's, this has been in the making. I know you're already typing it. We all know who it's going to be. It's been in the making for over a year now. She's carried the women's division on her back in that company. She's put on one of the best matches of the year in that Lights Out match with Thunder Rosa. Of course, we're talking about the Doctor, Britt Baker, DMD, new women's champion. So happy for her. Can't wait to see what this reign holds.
Yeah, it's a big moment. It's a big moment to win your big championship on the big stage at the big show. Not the big show. Just Paul White. Don't worry. He's just
the
Paul
Go
White.
Big Show.
He's just Paul White. Don't worry. The Go Big Show now probably canceled because he can't use that name. That was huge, man. And to see, I'm so excited for what the NXT the AEW women's division can look like going forward, too.
Yeah.
Right now that we kind of have this champion that everyone's over on, and it Hikaru Shida, she worked hard. But it's kind of hard to say sometimes, right? The women's division was really just coming up, and
yeah, I mean when she had her matches, they were good, but they were a little too spread out. The title wasn't featured enough for it to feel as big of a deal as it should.
I even think one time in the broadcast, Excalibur was like, the women's champion for over a year with 9 successful title defenses, and I'm like, that's not enough. I know you can't. Don't say a year and 9 because we can put those things together.
Yeah, that's That's almost Brock Lesnar numbers.
It is
not quite
Brock Lesnar type dominance. I'll tell you that much.
Well, who do you got?
I'm going same show. This was a show of pops for me, and I think a lot of other people too. There was a lot of very special moments, whether it was Jungle Boy and the Whoa Whoa Whoas singing along, whether it was everybody smiling alongside and belting their heart out when Chris Jericho's Judas came out. But I gotta say, my personal biggest pop belongs to none other than the icon Sting. When he took his shirt off, I was home alone going nuts. I'm standing up, I'm clapping my hands, and of course he knocks everyone down with the splash there at the end. It was such a fun moment. I felt like I was there. I felt like I was there cheering with everybody. That
was my biggest pop of the night.
It was such a fun moment for everything. It was great. It was great. And then the match that followed was also still very good. And you're like, God damn it, my man! Like, you're in your 60s and you can do something and look good. And like, oh my God, Vince wouldn't be using you this way. There's no way Vince would use a 60-year-old wrestler this way. But somehow we found a way to use a 62-year-old man. And just by taking off his shirt, you can get the crowd buzzing. And that was it.
Yeah.
That was my wrestler of the week, and that was the entire podcast. Thanks for listening, folks. Bit of a long one today, as we dealt with Double or Nothing. But next week, I think we'll be back to a normal length show before we have a couple pay-per-views to cover. Listen to us everywhere. Just kind of, on your computer in the background. Just a Spotify loop. You can set it to 3.5 speed, and then it just rushes through a bunch of episodes. Let's get those numbers up.
Yeah. Boost those numbers, baby.
Boost, DMD. Okay, thanks for listening, folks. Mikey, take care of yourself.
All right. And don't forget to brush your teeth, folks.